the question about who makes them is the big one to overcome. And so satisfy yourself that there are anomalies that can't be explained by the man-made theory. That then gives us a mystery. And people I've found in my experience have troubles with mysteries. They want the answers. But you have to learn to love mystery and just not have the answers, right? Just more questions.
So, Gary, could you talk about your relationship with Michael Glickman and some of the top investigations that you guys did?
Oh, Michael, I miss him deeply. Yeah, Michael became a mentor of mine early on. You know, I respected him. I read his books and I went to lectures, and before he knew me, and I loved his work because he was an architect. And from early on, he said to me, I like to keep my feet on the ground. And he said things like, look, anybody who's ever made anything on planet Earth knows that it's tricky, that a building project always goes over time and it always goes over budget and mistakes are made. And that's, you know, my dad was a bricklayer and I know that's true. And I've made things myself. I've done DIY in the house. And, you know, you have this vision in your mind that you're going to put these cupboards up, but it never goes like that. You drill through a bloody pipe, or, you know, you forget some screws, or you need bigger screws and you've got to go out and buy some and things like that. So practically, he made a very good point that, you know, we've got 7,000 crop circles and then we never see any mistakes. And they're always out of the field, apparently, before sunrise. You know, they complete the jobs, you know, free of charge with no copyright claims and all this sort of stuff. And so that appealed to me early on. And then Michael woke me up to the work of John Martineau and John Michel, who were early investigators. John Martineau analyzed a lot of the crop circles and found the hidden geometry. He was the pioneer of finding these squared circles and pentagrams that were hidden within them. And that can't be disputed. It's there, it's a fact. When I consulted maths historians like Dr. Nick Collerstrom and said, look, you know, these solutions to these mathematical problems like square and a circle, have they ever been done in this way or this accurately in history before? And he knew that they weren't, they hadn't been. So Michael's geometric analysis, his ability as a designer and architect to be able to look at a crop circle and see almost immediately that there was something inside it and find it. Like, for example, he discovered the hidden pi solution in the 2008 crop circle, amongst many others that he found. That woke me up. It's like anything in life, isn't it? You don't notice things until somebody points things out to you, and then you begin to notice them, you begin to see. And so as a result of what Michael taught me, I'm able to look at crop circles now and go, oh, look, I think there might be a hidden pentagram or an octagram inside that. And I can do some analysis and find it. So, and in addition to that, he was a funny man. He was hilarious. He was so charming. The women loved him. They would fall down and laugh around him, and everybody loved him. And he was just great company. We talked every day on the telephone. We had long conversations and deep conversations about things. And so I miss him dearly.
And Gary, where are you going with all this over the next couple years? Where do you see yourself and involved in all these different things over the next period of time?
I'm not really sure. I mean, you know, the whole journey since 1997 has been kind of, you know, things happen and I have to stop and go, you know, I can't believe where I am now. You know, I've been all over the world. I've been to Brazil 6 times to lecture. I've been to Canada. I've been to America. I've been to India. I've been to Hong Kong. I've been to so many places that the crop circlers have taken me. And now I'm living in Mexico, all as a result of my interaction with the crop circlers, producing content for television and so on. So half of me says, oh, well, I've got a kind of loose plan to refine my argument, to get those salient points across that people, so that people can see, you know, that there's another side to the story, that you can't just make an argument based on an opinion based on one side of an argument. You need to have both sides of the argument laid out. And that's really where I am. I'm not emotionally or spiritually motivated to convert anybody. I'm almost at the point where, you know, I can't say I don't care if people believe or not, but I'm really unattached to, you know. But what I am interested in, because of my legal training and because I like to look at both sides of any argument, I am keen to lay those facts out before the public and allow them to make their own conclusions. And that's kind of how I see my role. I'll lay out the information like cards on the table, and what happens with it after that is, you know, roll the dice.
For people who are just discovering about crop circles, what would you advise them to do, or where would they go to do research, or how would you advise them to get started on this whole field, Gary?
One of the things that you can't convey to people who have never been to a crop circle is what it's like to stand inside one and then see the overhead picture. Because when you're inside a crop circle, you have no idea what it is. You just can't, it's too big and you can't see it. It's on uneven ground and you can't see it. And then when I've taken people to crop circles and I take them in, I make a deliberate effort not to let them see the picture before and then show them when they're inside. And you always see this kind of face that, you know, the expression on somebody's face when they've seen a magician make a coin disappear or you know, whatever, you know, wow. So going to visit a crop circle with the farmer's permission, if you know, is a very good thing to do in the initial stages. After that, if you want to know more about, because the question about who makes them is the big one to overcome. And so satisfy yourself that there are anomalies that can't be explained by the man-made theory. That then gives us a mystery. And people I've found in my experience have troubles with mysteries. They want the answers. But you have to learn to love mystery and just not have the answers, right? Just more questions. So get used to having more questions than answers. And then begin to research. There are 5 categories, as I've found in my research of crop circles, the main one being geometry. But there are animals and insects, birds, dragonflies, butterflies, and so on. There's philosophical and religious symbols like the yin yang or cross of Christ or the tree of life and the Kabbalah and so on. There's astronomical symbols. We've been shown where planets are in relation to us on a certain day. And then there's a completely abstract category. So the first thing to do is to start looking at geometry. And there's a book written by one of the students of John Michel who lives in California. His name's Michael Schneider. He wrote a book which is on Amazon. You can buy it for $10. It's called A Beginner's Guide to Constructing the Universe. Pick that book up for $10. He's also got a bunch of workbooks which you can buy with it, where you can get the compasses out and start doing these things for yourself. And when you experience drawing these symbols without using a rubber, if you can, you start to get an appreciation of the profundity behind these things. And then if you're interested in, you know, why are we here? What's the meaning of life? What's the meaning of humanity? The philosophical connotations with regards to these geometric constructions get very, very deep. And so there are a bunch of books out there which you can start looking into sacred geometry and so on, and finding out that this is really about life and it's really about the human condition.